Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to the next episode of Chaos Primordium. The year is 6010 AD, and the camera pans over the cracks between the steel and concrete superstructures. It moves across the dirty streets filled with corruption, sin, and the wastes of biological, cybernetic, mutant, and alien life. Not all of them are bad, yet not many good ones are left in this world. Perhaps it is because society has made them this way. Life forms that survive tend to adapt to their specific surroundings. They must adapt and evolve in order to make it in this world. You have to become stronger, and sometimes that means killing off your empathy, cutting out weakness, and stripping away all of your faulty programming. For many, that is not so easy, especially when you care about something more than yourself. Dr. Thorne was a monster. He made monsters, and was also made by them. Krizach had pulled the trigger. Was it a mercy kill, or was it like Mutt had said, you must pay for what you have done. No loose ends. Krizach had very little loyalties left, if he had any at all. Was he one of those so tortured by the world that he was happy to see it burn? He had stepped over the bodies of his last crew and paid little thought on the fact that they were dead, nor did he seem to care that one of his new crew had killed the last surviving one. More money for Krizach to keep. Krizach had blown the old CRS facility. He walked away into the night streets as it had burned, walked away by himself into the shadows, for he had some items to sell and quick. Vega had stormed off in his new ride, leaving the others behind, and had taken Aramel's body with him. Aramel had died pretty much with Vega trying to stint the blood from the wounds. 2 rounds had passed right through the Technomancer's chest, though, and he was dead within 5 seconds. Vega had also been all about the job, all about the money, and the way Mutt had spoken to him after the event had just pushed him over the edge. He left them, but not before stopping by the old vehicle parked in the back alley. He pre-programmed the autopilot back to his mech runner garage that he had rented from his dwarf Connect grudge. He needed some time away from everyone else, needed to drive. Aramel's body in the back rear view. Vega knew it wasn't the first body in the back of his ride. It had carried many bodies to that strange CRS facility. It was a hover wagon, a Hallrun Gorgon, a pretty decent hover van. He took Aramel to his uncle's old scrapyard, a place run by an old friend named Sue. He watched Aramel's remains burn in the furnace. A cigarette was his only ceremony in honor of a pointy-eared friend. Goodbye, brother. You will be missed, was all he said as Aramel's remains turned to ash. After meeting up with Agent 72 from Alliance Industries at T-Cross near Peace Park, Saris, Mutt, and 72 sat under the monorail station, had a nice little chat. Saris, Mutt, and the agent were quick about the debriefing, with Mutt only giving some information to 72. They had claimed Dr. Thorne was dead and the entire place on fire, which was all true, but with Mutt had not told 72 was that he had spoken with Thorne before he died, read the emails, knew the truth. He didn't give him all this information that was on the data chip either, but the information he did give was enough. The agent had no reason to believe Saris and Mutt were holding out, but they were. Something had troubled Mutt about what he had found, and without Aramel's skills to scan through the data at a rapid rate, he would need time to sift through the data to make sense of it. They did have 2 clues, 2 names, Gold Black and Mother Yoon. After Saris and Mutt had made it to his place, they had talked for a while. But even with them, things seemed off. Mutt was in his own world sometimes with his dementia. The 2 new connects on target had been under Dr. Thorne's scope. They were new puzzle pieces. One was a shadow elf named Yanai Marin, also known as Mother Yan. The other was named, that sounded familiar, Gull Placket. Gull seems to be a female broker, powerful merchant in the Rosidi Federation. Dr. Thorne even had her number. Saris made sure to tag this info into her comm lab before she bailed, and things got weird with Mutt talking to himself. Need to find these shadows. That necromancer. Need more data, he said. And for Saris, there was that ever-present name in the back of her head that she kept hearing. The email correspondence between Dr. Thorne and that damn name, J. Vicari. She left that night in a hurry, and back to her pad to clear her head. These biological, pestering thoughts. The camera now pans to a place in a darker territory of the megatropolis that is Haven. Near the southern wall of the city, there is a place consumed in shadows. The faulty pipes and weak lighting are a constant reminder to the inhabitants that the area receives less funding than those more prominent areas. Areas where more humans and elves reside. The camera pans to the Church of the Void, a temple to the followers of the new religion known as the Tao, the Path, the Way. The Church of the Void is a place of inner peace. It is a place that defends the balance of both the light and the dark. So now we pan to Garvis.
As the camera pans around, it meets Garvis as he's kneeling on the floor. 181 years on a planet this foul, wrought with pain, suffering, and sin. Every day that passes, and a little farther into the shadow it slips. The stench grows worse and more tremendous and heavy. It is time. It is time for this world to be cleansed. It is time for these people and things to see the light. They will know compassion. They will know love. They will know justice. For it is coming, and it is swift. The gods are wrathful, and they come with agents of vengeance. They will show the only mercy they know, and it is good. I act as a servant of the gods. I am justice. My justice is swift, but it is deadly. It comes at a cost. It will cost you your life. Do not attempt to flee me. Do not run, for I will find you. I am a hunter, one of the greatest hunters. And if you run from me, you run from the gods. And when I find you, and I will find you, I will bestow upon you the greatest storm that you have ever known. For my fury knows no bounds, and I do not suffer fools. I have come to know great hatred and great kindness. Though kindness is fleeting fast and comes only in rare glimpses, I come to restore this. I wish for balance, and I will have it at any cost. I am charged with removing this world of evil and chaos and righting the wrongs. I come with the fists of righteous rage. I hammer the houses this rage. It is called sanctity. It, along with solemnity, the thunder stick, reign in the foul disease that is the population.
Out of the shadows appears a older Skog. His dress, he's adorned in pauldrons, battle armor, but he's a priest. He's the high priest of the Church of the Void here. he's pretty much like a father figure to Garvis, and he's been with him and not so much trained him in combat, but more of the mind, more knowledge, keeping him peace. But he comes out with a sly smile on his face. And Quahog in Skog language means more like father or master. And Quahog Mon is his name. So Mon steps into the shadows with a smile, looks over at Garvis, and he says, "You are ready now, my son. I can feel the fire within you."
Garvis will nod in approval of the words bestowed upon him. Yes, I am ready. And the fire grows. And I will use this fire to cleanse those of the evil variety.
Mon nods and approaches you down the steps, kind of holding up his robes. Good. From the darkness there has appeared an enemy. The Shadow Elves. They hide a necromancer. These pests, these terrorists, struck again. They destroy temples like this one here. They destroy places of balance and wish to overthrow the balance that we preserve. These Shadow Elves must be dealt with. We must find them. They carry a symbol like a black star. Their master. They call her Mother Yun. I want you to find her. Can you do this for me?
I can. And when I find them, what is it that I shall do?
I want you to purify them. Teach them.
Yes.
Teach them the wrong of their ways. You may kill them. If you can, bring Mother Yun to me.
I will cleanse the rest with the eternal fire.
These pests, they hide very well in the darkness, though. We need information. I know someone that can help us. Her name is Gold Placket. She is a merchant, a broker of the Raciti Federation. You must seek her out in a nightclub.
In a nightclub. A place of sinners.
Yes. It is in a large building. Nightclub is called Starfinder. I will send you the coordinates.
Yes. I shall make haste.
So he puts a hand on your shoulder and gives you one last smile and says, "Fight well, my son, and return to us when the task is complete."
I will fight well, for I bring the justice of Gar, and I will smite those that oppose him.
And then the camera pans away from the dark church and heads towards another location where we find Saras. She's been getting her cybernetic implants, replacements done, getting healed up and modified. Can you see, are you in the room with the, like a doctor's office type thing?
Yep.
So you're pretty much like recovering from some of your implants on a table in a room kind of like this and waiting for the doctor to get in. What's going on there?
So Saris is lying on the table and wants to kind of look down, inspect her arm, see the new enhancements, what she knows, just to sit there, lay still. It's definitely not the most fun part of getting enhancements, but it was worth it every time. And it's probably the first time in a while she hasn't worn any armor, just kind of splayed on the table. And she's mostly bare, though it's very obvious where certain limbs have been reattached when she was reconstructed. Some of them definitely not being the same skin tone as hers, slightly being off color. And she lays there just kind of waiting and thinking about all that's happened, and this name, Jay Vicarian, going through her head. This name is on the tip of her tongue, but she's not sure exactly where she's heard it. That she knows about the memories that she's been having, especially as of late. She feels maybe they're all connected somehow. Maybe they're not, but feels that way. Maybe finally connecting the pieces and figuring out exactly what these things are, what they mean to her, why she keeps having them. Maybe once she discovers what they are, she can finally let them go. And maybe even see if she can get someone to pinpoint said memories and maybe even erase them so she doesn't have these problems anymore. And she continues to lie there, thinking about thoughts of Ronnie come up. It's almost sad to say that though they'd spent almost a year together, her and Armil and the rest, it was disappointing about his passing, but some reason that damn mouse that came into her life for a very short period of time really had almost more of an impact, probably because he was really small and so innocent. Hadn't really made his mark on the world. Not that he ever really would, considering his size, what he was, but still, it almost haunted Saris to think about, and that she pushed the thought from her mind, tried to focus on today, getting patched up, getting these implants solid and in. And afterwards, contacting Krizach, seeing what the rat had turned up.
About that time you get a buzzer on the door, and door slides open. And familiar female human figure steps in. Dr. Perry. She's worked on you several times before. And she comes in with like a calming voice, you know, and says, Saras, am I bothering you?
No, Dr. Perry, though I am wondering when this will be done.
She's like, if you can follow me, I just have one more test to run, and then you can be on your way. Hopefully we can get you all patched up and make sure everything's working properly.
Sarah sits up from the table and swings her legs down towards the ground, pushes off the table and follows Dr. Perry. How many more tests? One?
Says yes, and I would like to give you some items here. She's like, some new stuff that just came in, and she takes you into the lab. Can you see the lab here? The map here, it's at the same image.
Oh, same image. Still the office.
Okay, anyway, not important really. So she takes you into this side chamber, and where pretty much cybernetics are all set up, and even it looks like other empty shells, cyborgs, revenant type things, with no biological parts on them. A lot of diagrams in the chamber, and it's dimly lit. She does have some tanks with like biological pieces floating, eyes and different things like that, and hands, and kind of kept fresh and vitalized by these different liquids. And she takes you over to a table and pats it as all right, come on and sit down. This is the new items we just got in. And she opens up a container with 6 hypodermic needles that you've already seen before. The reason they have them is because you guys brought them to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Those healing injectors. But Dr. Perry's unaware of it, you know? And she's like, all right, if you can lay down, I'm going to scan one more time your brain here, and we're going to get you all fixed up. I'm going to give you an injection. And she's actually going to heal you up to max hit points. Well, so you can get all green again. She runs the scan over you. And can you make a willpower check as well?
Oh boy.
While she's scanning you. 5. During the scan, you get some kind of vision, flashback maybe. It's almost like a static jars through your mind, a bolt of electricity almost, and then you see a little boy running towards you, calling you mommy, and for like a brief moment you feel happiness and it feels familiar, you know, and it totally feels like a connection with that, you know, that same connection you felt that one time with Ronnie. And as quickly as that, you know, the image is gone, and it's just Dr. Perry again, and she's pulling the needle out of you, and the nanites are doing their thing and healing you back up to max hit points. She says, well, that's it. Everything seems to be working normally. Everything's running. How do you feel?
And Sarah sits back up and pinches the bridge of her nose. Dr. Perry, these flashbacks or visions I occasionally experience, is there any way of getting rid of them? It is messing with my perception of reality sometimes.
She gets kind of a worried look on her face, and she says, are they happening nightly?
Not nightly, just sometimes when I see certain things. Just now I had one, certain activities. I am not sure exactly what sets them off. They come and go occasionally.
She seems kind of worried for a minute, and she seems to jot something down on her little data pad. She says, well, I could get you a prescription for some medications lined up pretty soon. Maybe they'll help that, help take away those visions. She's like, But for right now, she's like, I'll give you a call when those prescriptions are ready.
Alright. Thank you, Dr. Perry.
And she says, all right, you're free to go. And she says, good luck out there. And then you notice another agent about to come in. Looks like a human. Hair's all frazzled. Looks like he's kind of wounded as well, too. And he just walks by you. You haven't seen him before. But the thought does come to your head about Krizach. And he's got your money. Or the money that he said he owed you guys. He was going to split with you guys anyway. So, you don't know where his location is, but you know who might know. Mutt might know, since he's a tracer and all.
Yep,
So what would you like to do?
Ceres goes to where her things are. It's kind of a giant pile of armored pieces, leathered pieces, a large coat, and some guns hiding underneath, and she gets all suited up, and as she does so, shrugging on her greaves and her pants and everything, she pulls out her comm lab, and she decides maybe messaging Mutt might be the best. If he doesn't message back quickly, she'll phone him, but she'll give him a message to see if he knows the location of Krizach.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long for Mutt. He is a tracer after all. And with his new toys that he acquired from Dr. Thorne's lab, he has a GPS location. He also has access to the database of Alliance Industries. And since the rat, Krizach, was an employee, a shadow operative of Alliance Industries, with DNA and top secret technology, he's able to locate Krizach and give you an exact location, exact coordinates, well within under an hour, pretty much. So the camera kind of leaves Alliance Industries and then pans down to the Undercity. Down past the pipes, the leaky pipes, and the large buildings that kind of run like stalagmites and stalactites, kind of holding up the city above it, even down into the dark Undercity, where basically the dregs of society live and dwell. There's a lot of Tarkanis, a lot of Ratkin down there, a lot of orcs, a lot of goblins that live down there in the dark place of the Undercity. So we find Krizach down there in the marketplace, and he's selling off several of the few items that he procured, and he's also purchased a few, I believe. Krizach, what's going on down there?
So Krizach, you see, is putting on various pieces of light armor that he purchased for stealthy types such as himself. He's putting on, making,
Yes, fit very good here. Trim a bit there, yes. This do nice. I like this. Good clothing fabric. Yes.
try to turn it around. He's also going through his what he purchased, his weaponry, his grenades he's putting into his grenade vest as well. He's just had quite a fun time over the past while that this is since the mission, and has put a lot of funds into his continued survival. And he was almost dancing through the marketplace as he was purchasing these various items.
Yes. Now,
looks over his equipment, and he would have brought the drugs to see if, well, stealthily to see if there were any types that wanted to buy those drugs.
Yeah. And after, moving through the marketplace down here, there's plenty of plenty of, people that would want to buy, but all of them are like, yeah, I'll take a hit. You got one, you got two, and you've got like a briefcase full of 100 hits, and you're like trying to get rid of mass quantity, and all these people want 1 and 2 hits for like 20 credits and stuff, and all of them are really broke, and and you're having a hard time trying to get rid of any of them. So you need a buyer. You need somebody who's going to buy something in quantity. And then you notice out of the shadows a familiar face appear. It is a female, mutant, and she's kind of wearing a deep hood, and her name is Roke. She is kind of like a homeless shaman that lives down here, and a rat shaman type. She's got the totem of the rat on staff there. She idolizes, and that's how you kind of met her. She's like, walks up to you. Is that you? Are you still trying to get rid of those drugs?
Mistress Rogue, yes, I want to sell peddle these things. I know they are drugs, and many people like drugs, yes, to forget, not remember things, yes. You know where I could sell drugs to more than just these poor, poverty things?
He said, I'm sorry, I can't help you, but if you want to, you can leave them with me. I'll take care of them till you find somebody, maybe. I would only request that you offer me a few, for the trouble.
What has Roke ever been reliable to me?
You don't trust her for shit, She, she's a shaman and everything, but she is dirt poor, and she's always trying to pull something over. They call her the hag.
I think I keep hold of these. I perhaps give you a few out of respect. Yes, Mistress Rogue, yes, but I keep hold briefcase. It's mine.
She smiles at that. She's like, you are so wise, Krizek. I will put to the spirit watch over you. Yes, I will take a few. 6, 7, 10?
I give you 4. 4 for now, yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, that'll be fine. They help me talk to the spirits.
Yes. Spirits, yes.
And he just goes through and pulls out a couple of syringes and gives them to her.
And amongst the people moving around through the shadows, and you notice someone kind of leaning up against the wall, watching you, and it is a familiar face. And Saras, you've been watching him for a little bit, listening to the conversation. You can.
Oh no!
Sarah steps out of the shadows and pushes herself off the wall, walking towards Krizak. Looks like you're still trying to sell things, Krizak.
Yes. I tried to sell peddle drugs.
And she'll kind of give him a look up and down. I'm guessing his new gear is very obvious.
Yeah, he's got quite a bit of explosives, I think, now.
Looks like you made quite a bit of money from the things that you sold, Krizak.
Krizak know many people here in Warrens. Yes, I also have many things I leave at home I not use because had ideas might be undead. Some things not practical against undead, yes? So some of this already mine.
Some, as you say.
Yes.
Some.
Yes.
But some of it is new, as you did not say.
Yes, that some is new. New, yes.
So, Kasach, what exactly have you sold and how much have you made thus far?
So, Krizet's still working to sell this, but you said half of payment from job and half of alien artifact. Yes, so half of what we find. So, Krizach get paid and sell alien. Alien not worth much, not much. Krizach has money for you now. This still need to be sold. 40,000 credits. Yes, yes.
And just smiles.
40,000 credits. So far, I did say everything that you found, which includes, and she'll gesture to the drugs, though I might have a buyer for those.
Oh, then you can take sell, yes? And then he just kind of beckons you to take the drugs.
I will take those, but I will also take that 40,000.
Oh, yes, yes, of course. And
Just goes through his pockets, and there's a chip or something I can pass over.
Yeah.
here, it credits for you. Now, deal even. No more money owed, yes?
Yes. Though, I don't know if anybody else will A, remember this, or B, ask for this. So, this total can be between you and me, and I won't bug you anymore for anything else to do with that last mission. Deal?
Yes, good. Deal, yes. We make deal pact here.
Yes. And she'll extend a hand to Krizach.
You notice Rook is kind of slinking away a little bit, and when she notices the heavily armed warrior woman, standing there, and she turns back and a little bit and says, I thank you, and the spirits thank you, Krizach. Good luck to you. Good luck to you both. And she kind of slinks away in the shadows as you're talking.
Krizach looks nervously at Roke and then looks nervously at Ceres's hand and then kind of slowly extends his little rat paw to shake it. If that's what she's gesturing for, or just to give her the drugs. Just kind of slowly shake the hand.
And just kind of grasp it a bit firmer and pull him in slightly. Why don't you hang on to the drugs for now until we meet a potential buyer? Yes?
I thought you, no meat buyer, already have a person thing in mind.
It's true, but I feel if we go together, it would be better, as they also might have information regarding those necromancers that we ran into.
Is Alliance hiring for new kill murder mission for necromancer?
No. No, they are not. But depending on these necromancers, there might be more things that they have that you can sell. Hopefully you get a better price for them.
Oh, I like to sell steel, yes.
And kind of rubs his... Well, he's trying... He wants to rub his hands together, but you still have his hand. He kind of looks at it and then kind of starts petting the the fur on his face with the free hand.
Yes, I like to steal cell. I can hold drugs for machine thing. We go together. Yes, you. How you find Krizach?
We have our ways. Matt and I.
He kind of looks very nervous and scared about that.
You find Krizach that easy?
Yes, you are extremely easy to find, Krizach. I hope you know this.
Kind of gulps.
It's fine. Machine things. Clearly Krizach's friend. Krizach not worry scared. No, not worry scared at all.
No, though your looks betray you, Krizach, and she'll let go of his hand.
Yes. Sometime Krizach look nervous, but actually very confident, strong. Yes. Well, you can find Krizach. You get Krizach when you do deal. I bring drugs.
You're not coming? I thought you were coming.
Oh, you know now.
That you're coming?
Yes. Yes, I will come with you now. That is fine.
Good. The location... I have the location, yeah?
Yes, you do. It's a building called the Skyriser.
It is in a nightclub called Stargazer and building called Skyriser. Very apt. Do you remember the name Gulplicate?
Do I know the name Goldplacket, and do I know the building that she's talking about?
When you were given the job to go after Dr. the first time, the agent had told you all, pretty much both your crews, that if you were caught by anybody like the Order, that you would implicate the name Gold Placket as the person that hired you to do this job, and leave Alliance Industries out of it, because you're shadow operatives, So Gold Placket, that name has been heard before.
About the drug, at the building.
The building is, it's a pretty common hotel, very large hotel, in like the red light district, where a lot of nightclubs are, and dangerous mafia types will hang out in that area, as well as gangs and things like that. So yeah.
Krizach hate nightclubs. But fine, we go.
I know, there's many dirty gyrating bodies. I also dislike it heavily, but it is necessary.
If dirty gyrating bodies get too close to Krizach, Krizach may drop poison in a nightclub. Yes, kill all. Well, perhaps not before selling things.
Well, if the owner is Gold Placket, not such a good idea. If it is not, poison all you want. Degenerates need to die.
He also kind of gestures.
I have new equipment. Yes, look. I breathe deep in poison, not cared.
Puts on filtration mask that he has.
Yeah, see?
What else is new, Krizach?
Oh, that about it.
Sarah stares down the rat man before kind of taking time to turn around. Well, hopefully that is all the new things you got. You did not spend too much of your meager earnings.
Oh no, Krizach very thrifty. No worry. You get money owed. Yes.
Let us leave then. Sarah starts to turn around from Krizach and start walking away towards the exits of this area.
And he'll let her pace a bit away and then mutter to himself
Things.
and start scurrying to catch up with her.
And it doesn't take you guys long. You pretty much you can either choose to take the monorails, which are free, or you can pay 40 credits and take a taxi once.
Taxi.
Monorail.
Mm,
Spend nothing.
Fine.
All right, cool. I'm gonna roll for a random. Oh. No random encounters on the way. And it doesn't take you guys long to get to the hotel. And into the great lobby of this hotel is... there's a lot of people walking around. Take an elevator up to the top floor. There's a nightclub called the Stargazer. And as the doors open up, you notice the whole place is filled with those gyrating bodies that you love so much.
Sarah looks around with sort of squinting underneath the lights, underneath her mask, turning her head, staring at everyone dancing in disgust. Disgusting.
And Garvis, you are there as well. It takes you some time to find this place, and you walk in and notice, the same thing, people dancing around. What do you feel like this place?
So Garvis will walk in, and upon even just approaching this place, the hair on the back of his neck begins to stand. He just ignores that, pushes on, continues on, gets inside, and looks around, and lips on either side of his mouth kind of curl up, almost as if he's baring his teeth angrily. But it's just more because of how disgusted he is with this. Bodies touching each other. Sweat. Ugh. The smell of this place. I should burn it all down in the eternal fires. Cleanse it.
You notice through the crowd, you can see there's a bar, and you notice it must be an elven female, blonde hair pulled back into a ponytail. She's kind of racing to deliver drinks to the patrons that have gathered up there. The clientele seems primarily human, half-elven type of clientele, but there are other races spotted throughout the entire club. You notice a few people definitely packing weapons, but do not seem of interest. What do you guys do?
Ceres takes a look around, and is there any obvious signs of like back rooms or anything like that?
Yeah, you notice that some of the areas, there is an exit door behind the bar. There's also a second floor. You can see a balcony with many tables. There looks to be maybe like even a private elevator, and there is an ogre guarding that door. He's got his arms crossed over his chest and has a kind of a tight shirt that says security on it. The ogre is bald. He seems to be guarding that door. Other than that, you notice there are some private booths off to your right in kind of a shady underhanging the second level. And there's seems to be like maybe four or five booths and private rooms in that area.
She looks to Krzach. So, any ideas on to how her attention.
Could walk up, say we have drugs to sell. Easiest.
This kind of smiles and shrugs.
I feel like that is probably not the best idea.
Oh,
Something with a little more delicacy. Though my only idea is asking someone to tell Gulplacat we are here.
oh yes, you could, we could go to, henchman slaves and tell them, yes, we here to sell good product things, drugs, medicine for, gold placat thing. Yes, that may get attention in delicate manner.
Or maybe we could mention that we are here with information about Dr. Thorin.
Who? Oh yes, doctor. Yes, that could maybe perhaps work. Yes.
Well, and she'll look towards Krazach. And then she'll look back to the bar. Let's ask. And she'll start walking towards the
Yes.
bar, kind of trying to avoid as many people as possible as she's walking there.
I'm walking the shadows, Saris, and just hold the briefcase close and just kind of just click my teeth at anybody who gets too close to me, making sure we have some space.
And Garvis, what would you be doing?
Garvis, after walking in, he begins to survey the immediate surroundings, and he sees a lot of people gathering around the bar and conversing there. And so he begins to just walk straight across the dance floor, just pushing his way through and just bullying people out of his way and grunting loudly as he's doing so. And anybody that decides to try and stand up a little bit, he just bares teeth at him and growls, then basically just face shoves him.
You bump into some guy, he's dancing like a moron and spiked hair, and he turns around, hey man, whoa, holy shit. And he kind of gets out of your way when he sees the size of you.
Move, sinner. He just makes his way up to the bar, and he sees this elven bartender or waitress and snatches her by the arm. She-elf! I need information. Who might I talk to?
She like looks at your hand and stuff, and like kind of surprised, and she says, you need information? Well, I'm the bartender, I can help you. No need to get angry. Looks like she might be.
Not angry, this is how I talk. You wouldn't like me if I was angry.
And she says, she seems to be looking around kind of like scared, like maybe looking for somebody to help her. She's like, I can tell you whatever you need to know.
Good. Mother Yan, I need to know where she's at. What do you know?
She's like, Mother Yan, I don't know that name.
Begins to look around, just scouting out more patrons and workers, trying to find some of the more shady variety.
You guys, can everybody make a perception check, please? nice. 2 13s. So Garvis and Saras. Both of you guys notice in one of those back booths that you were talking about, those kind of secluded rooms, you notice a guard standing there. This one down here. He's wearing a helmet with looks like almost like holy symbols sticking off of the sides of the helmet. And he's got his arms crossed and definitely packing some kind of weaponry. He seems to be guarding one of the doors. And another character moving through the crowd comes up to the bar. This one here, he's wearing some kind of mask. His jacket is actually illuminated and glowing by some kind of neon lights and things. And he walks up to you, Saras and Krizach at the bar. He says, you guys looking for any poison?
Not so much poison. Depends on who asks. It's more information we are looking for.
He says, information. It's like, well, I'm the man to talk to.
Oh, you
He's
know.
like, what kind of information you need?
Well, I am looking for a contact of a friend of ours. Name's Goldplaquette.
And just by his posture, you can tell he knows who you're talking about. And also Garvis, you with your perception check is not a horrible one, and you hear that name as well, Goldplaquette, coming from the people standing right next to you at the bar.
You know this name, Goldplaquette.
Sarah will turn her head slowly over to Carvus, and why?
I seek this Goldplaquette.
And why is that?
I need information.
As do we.
Spectre's my name. And the guy with the glowing jacket says, and he puts his hands out to the side and he's like, I can help you all. He's like, just follow me.
Krizach will tug on Sirius's coat.
We should be careful. The big wolf thing may have other drugs to sell. Try to compete with us for drugs.
Don't worry. And she'll kind of lean down to Krizach. If it comes to that, it needs competition. We'll handle it.
Yes, with fire.
Yes, we'll burn the house down.
Yes.
She'll kind of sit back up and look over to Carver's. Well, coming. And she'll start following Spectre.
Garvis just growls low. Begins to follow behind.
So Spectre is kind of dancing as he's walking through the dance floor and through the crowd, leading you guys. You notice, like, very quickly, he's producing small products out of little baggies, handing people them as he passes by with little nods here and there and smiles. Some of his clientele are purchasing things as he's passing and dancing, passing through the floor. And he'll stop here and there to ask somebody how they're doing and shake their hand or high-five people. And then he gets over to the back room and he pats the heavily armored warrior bodyguard, it appears, on the shoulder, and he says, "This is Chapel. Chapel, say hi to him." And Chapel just nods. And he says, "Chapel's really nice. He might not act like, but he's a nice guy."
Hi, Chapel.
Chapel nods his head to you. The Boba Fett nod.
Mm,
He very nice, probably, yes.
I appreciate the armor.
And Spectre pushes away some beads, and you can see the inside of the chamber is surrounded by holographic images, creatures fluttering and butterflies and things like that. Inside this chamber, strange like imagery in a kind of hazy back room where there's a table. Holographic images are also emitting computer data off of the glass table, and the whole room is kind of a seated arrangement around this glass table, a little booth. You notice that there are two individuals inside. One is wearing a hood and almost like a mirror face mask, and the other is wearing all white, gold placket. You can immediately tell that this character is gold placket. She's wearing these like extravagant collar that sticks out in these white frilly things. Her attire screams, look over here at me, kind of like a diva dress on, but everything's really white and clean, even her armored clothing. She is a Rosidi, which are well known for their negotiation tactics and things like that. And she smiles and stands up. Her eyes are like black orbs, and she extends a hand kind of like flamboyant towards Saras as you come in. And she's like, "Hello, girl. It's so nice to meet you. Come on in. Sit down." You notice immediately that this is not a girl, but it's actually a male, and probably dressed in drag.
Nice.
And she's like, "Welcome, come on in, all of y'all. Come sit down." She's like, "What can Gold Placket do for you?"
Saris will stroll into the room. She'll take Gold Placket's hand fairly lightly. Thank you for meeting with us. It is nice to meet you too.
"Oh my God, this is my song." She's like dancing, and you can tell that the hooded figure, who seems to be like playing with some cards, some strange holographic cards, is not impressed by the presence of Gold Placket at all. But kind of, or you all as you walk in, she seems to be kind of keeping to herself. She's like, "This is my bodyguard Nova," and she's like, "What can I help you find people with?"
Saris will nod for the other two to approach and sit down as well.
Garvis doesn't sit, he just stands rigidly.
Saris will sit down. Well, there are a few things that we have come to ask of you. Well, one is a bit disappointing news. Maybe disappointing, I'm not sure your relation with him, but you recognize the name Dr. Thorin, correct?
She gets a little bit more serious when you mention the name. She's like, "I do. I know that, Dr. Thorne."
Unfortunately, Dr. Thorin had a accident in his underground lab and has died in the fire.
And she kind of leans back and kind of snaps her fingers towards Nova. She's like, Nova immediately produces a magical flame from her hand and lights a long cigarettes, hands it to Gull. And Gull says, that's unfortunate. I always knew Dr. Thorne was gonna meet a bloody end. He wanted me to help him escape this planet. I was gonna help him.
It is disappointing that this had to happen, though and I'm sure maybe you know why he wanted to escape. Besides his experiments, what are they called? Necromancers?
She says, you talking about the Shadow Elves?
I am.
She's like, the Dark Star. She says, they're a nasty bunch of terrorists, if you ask me. And she waves her hand over the table and produces a holographic image of a symbol. Can you guys see that?
I see nothing.
No.
Yeah, nothing.
It's probably
I must adjust my eye lookers.
Ah,
Oh,
Yes.
produces a symbol pretty much like that. And she says, Dark Star, it's a terrorist organization. They protect the Necromancer. A nasty group. They like blowing things up.
yes. We have heard some of their misdeeds. We've also heard of one Mother Jan.
Ah, yeah. Mother Yoon. She is a nasty one as well. She seems to run one of the groups, one of the factions here. She says, are you looking for them?
Yes. We also may be looking for people who would like something done about this group. Or just information regarding them.
She takes a drag off of her long cigarette and says, and who do you work for, if I may ask?
Unfortunately, I am bound and unable to disclose as such.
She smiles and she's like, that's okay, girl. And she laughs really annoying. And she says, well, I've got a problem with Dark Star myself. She says, maybe you would be interested in working for me.
I think we would be, though I'm not sure about him. And she'll turn around and turn her gaze towards Garvis.
Garvis's eyes are fixed intently on Gull Placket, and he's just staring at her.
I'm not interested in working for anyone. I am a servant of Gar. I am only interested in finding these terrorists and bringing them to justice by fire.
Well, if you're interested in bringing said terrorists to justice, then think of working for Galplaket as facilitating to finish your mission.
Mother Yoon is mine.
That is fine.
The rest may die by fire.
Yes, yes!
Garvis will look over Krizaj
enjoy fire, do you?
Yes, I have many things that cause fire explode. Yes, but
And he looks over at Gold Plaque. It's like,
but unlike Priest Wolf Thing, I like get paid. Yes.
Gull smiles and she says, 800,000 credits is what I'm talking about.
For the whole terrorist gang or just her?
Yes, this faction. Do you think you have the firepower to take the Dark Star on?
I think we do. Would it be 800,000 in total or each?
Yes, 800,000 total.
Mm.
And then, if you lose a friend, you can split it up as you want.
That just encourages infighting at that point.
She smiles, and she smiles over at Garvis. He's so big and scary. Why don't you come sit down?
I'm rather fine, thank you.
She smiles at you. She says, do you have any other friends that will help you? Is it gonna be just you three?
I don't know if this one is my friend, and she'll gesture over to Garvis, but we do have others who are willing to assist. We have a few contacts.
She kind of perks up at that. And, she says, oh, you don't know this one.
It was a meeting by happenstance, similar goals, it seems.
She says, she smiles at that, you know, and she says, well, that makes me happy. Darkstar's just making enemies all over the place.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Well then, it'll be good for my reputation if I can take care of it first. Well, with the help of my new friends here. Kind of waves at all of you.
Of course, I really only expect the money if you can take all the credit you deserve. Anything you wish. I do not think any of us expect to have our names attached to this. The glory is all yours, Goblaket.
She says, excellent. She says, can I offer you anything to drink, perhaps? Maybe any drug?
Well, I am not a partaker of mind-altering substances, but if you had any need for any, my associates, Krizach, and I had come along some.
Drugs!
and he just opens the briefcase and puts it on a table in front of her.
Yes!
Oh no.
And she smiles. She laughs, the annoying. And kind of like runs her hands, not touching them or anything, but kind of over really long, over-exaggerated fingernails. Like galaxies all painted on them and stuff. And she's like, oh, this is the Gynos root. She's like, you need me to take this off your hand?
Yes!
Like, I can do that for you.
How much?
How much you got here?
No, Krizach?
He starts trying to remember how many drugs.
I think you had 100 doses, and then you
And we
gave...
gave
90, number, what that number thing? 6! 96.
And then she leans over and whispers something to Nova. And she says, I'll give you 4,000 credit for that.
Yes.
She says, waves her hand for Nova, like has to take care of the problem, you know. And Spectre turns around and dishes out the cash on a chip for you.
Holds it up, but then he remembers that he's gonna owe half of this to Saris. Ah.
She says, excellent. I'm glad we're all making friends.
Yes. Is it possible for us to gain your contact information in case we get any new intel? Or if there's any intel you can provide us on this group, so we are not going in completely blind.
She says, of course. And she says, there is some information I can help you with right now. And let me give you this. And she taps the table and sends kind of the information by grabbing it, you know, the holographic image of it, kind of throwing it towards your comm lab, you know. You can see her contact information pops up with the number and everything. And she says, and if you need any help, any hired guns, she says, I know a few people. They will cost money though, of course, out of your pocket. And she says, just give me a call if you need anybody.
Of course. No.
She says sometimes Nova or Spectre will do jobs, help my clients out.
Now, as a inquiry, though of course understandable as we are new friends of yours, the 800,000 credits, will we see this, or at least a portion of this, before the job is complete, or all of it after?
She says, you know, actually make a charisma
Oh,
check
no.
before we do that, or if you have the negotiation skill.
I don't. Charisma.
You're not getting paid at all.
Oh, great. You're actually paying her.
She says, once you start the job, she's like, you can take care of a few things for me, then I can front you 25%. She's like, but first, I'll need you to head down to the subway and take care of their guards. Those guys in the subway, they're going to be the ones that are watching guard for the place. You're going to have to take them out first anyway. She's like, I know their church resides down there in the Undercity.
So,
And she grabs the little holographic kind of coordinates and passes that to your comm lab as well.
so take these guards out before we intrude upon the group, yes?
She says yes. She's like, if you go down there, she's like, maybe you follow them straight to the place. Who knows?
We'll have to definitely gather our troops before heading down there.
That's it. Oh, of course.
Do you have a timeline for this?
She says within the week. Within the week would be fine.
Within the week to take care of the whole group?
Oh, yes. Do you think you could do that?
Sarah?
Yes.
A pressing timeline for you, girl.
She says, well, I've got some other business to attend, and I'll be leaving my ship after that week is up. She says, my ship's docked at Alpha Base, near the moon.
And this Mother Yun, I am free to take her afterwards. Yes.
Oh, of course. You can do whatever you want with her.
We will get this done within the
She
week.
said... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
She says, they are guarding the necromancer. And, he might be a problem. He's a dangerous one.
You will fall before Gar.
She says, good day. I'm glad you're so confident.
Thank you for taking the chance to meet with us, Gold Blackheads. I thought we would have been met with more resistance.
She stands up. She says, the pleasure was all mine.
Saris,
She offers her hand again.
Saris gets back up and takes Gold Blackhead's hand, shakes it firmly. It'll be a pleasure to work with you and for you.
She says, you all take care now.
Thank you for drug money.
It's, oh, anytime.
Saris will turn heel and start to exit the room.
Spectre kind of pushes the beads out of the way for you guys, and he says, hey, anytime you got drugs, bring them this way, we'll get rid of them for you.
Thank you. We will make sure any illegal substances that come into our hands or she looks over Kazach, pause, will come to you.
Then he kind of starts like walking with you guys, kind of leading you out. I'll walk you out. And he's passing through the people. And he's talking to you this as you're walking. He says, I can't believe none of you use any combat stems, no stimulants.
No. Not usually. Or at all, really.
I don't need any stimulants. God gives me all the strength I need. And he provides with fire.
I blow things up. Don't need to be fast. Already fast.
So he laughs and gets you guys to the elevator. And he says, well, good luck. May the shadows hide your path.
Thank you, Spectre.
And with that, you guys leave the club and start heading back down to the streets there. Once you guys get down out into the streets, out in front of the Skyriser building, what are you guys gonna do?
Saris looks over to Garvis, crosses her arms and leans back slightly. So, who are you anyway? Why are you looking for Mother Yun? Why are you looking for the same people as us?
I am a Garvis, servant of Gar. God demands that we hunt down these dark elves, these shadow elves. He demands justice of them, justice by fire. And I am a servant, and I will bring that justice. I will cleanse them by fire.
Now, are you looking to do this on your own, or are you willing to work with us to get the job accomplished? I am Saris. This is Krizach.
Ceres,
Yes.
I will not refuse any help, for those that help to cleanse shall surely be, well, repented or something of that nature. I'm not sure how that part of it works. I only cleanse by fire. Splash of holy water, perhaps.
Are you looking to get compensated for this, or is your security and your faith enough payment?
I think a small tithe to the church would suffice.
That is acceptable.
What was that?
Krizach.
Yeah,
Speeder.
Krizach laughing. Well, Krizach laughing at the fact he's accepting a tithe. Obviously, just laughing.
Garvis just sends a quick glance toward Krizach.
And you, Ratman,
Eh,
you deal in unsavory things. Your path is dark.
Wolf Thing Priest knows not half of it.
I find it odd that you enjoy fire. Fire speaks only the truth. And yet you are not taken by it. This is a curious conundrum.
I like fire because things scream when set on fire.
And he kind of opens up his cloak that he has and showing the grenade vest with some Molotovs and stuff like that.
I like burn, destroy, kill, ruin. That's why I like fire.
Are those new?
No.
You have the explosives in your house. Must be dangerous.
Only if you know not where step. Don't ever try to come in Krizach home. You be fine.
Alright, we'll just locate it later.
Ah.
And Sarah's kind of smiles under her helmet. Looks to Garvis. Well, we have others who are willing to join in this, get some information. We should exchange information and plan to meet tomorrow. Is there by the subway we're supposed to go down to kill the guards and everything? Is there some sort of like coffee place or anything like that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Perfect.
You could do that.
We will meet and she'll kind of pull out her map up on her comm pad and show it to Garvis and Krizach. We'll meet here tomorrow evening, this time.
You notice a place called Yoshinoya Beef, and they have coffee and food. Kind of a quick stop.
Perfect.
Why do we not go now,
Be-
under the cover of the night? This rat man appears to like to move in the shadows.
Depending on... I do not know how heavily armed everyone is going to be, is the only thing.
So you need more time for preparation.
Another day for preparation. I do not know how many people we will need, nor how dangerous these individuals are.
Quite.
Getting extra information, plus we have the weeks to do it. More safe, more secure, less likely for accidents, death. You do not want to die before completing your mission for whatever your god is, do you?
Gar.
Gar.
No, I shall complete this mission. And I shall be rewarded.
Good. And she looks over Krizach. Are you on board with this?
Yes, Krizach. Need all help. I mean, Krizach will give all help he can to accomplish mission. Make money for everyone. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Everyone. Ma.
Yes, everyone.
Well, I will do more research. I will contact Matt. I will attempt to get into contact with Vega to see if they will join us.
And with that, the scene fades to black. And are you guys good for that for right now? Do that?
That's alright.
I think that's a fine little intro, at least to put everybody together,
Yeah.
and then it sets us up for the next one.
I don't want to. I didn't want to do it without Doc and Cypher.
Yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense because this is an entire cult